Alright everybody, welcome back. Let's talk blades because that's what we're into. Today I have for you guys my last two CRKT knives that I have to show you, at least for now until I decide to buy more. Then you guys will know that I have more CRKT. At least they're folders anyways. I know I have other CRKTs to show you guys that are fixed blades that I haven't even gotten to my fixed blade collection yet. And I haven't even gotten to my multi-tools or my multi-tool collection. So this is just kind of, it saddens me a little bit because I thought this was going to keep going, but for my folders, this is it, my last two. And these are actually my more recent purchases, really. Not more recent, but as far as recent local purchases of the CRKTs that I've had. This one was bought at Big 5, and this one was bought at Lowe's here, close to my house. I find this one more interesting than this one. I don't know why, but when I bought this, I liked the grip on this. This was a really nice grip on a knife. They call this one the Hammond folder. Columbia River Knife and Tool, model number 7904, Hammond Cruiser. This is the Cruiser. This one is the Igniter. This one is a $32 knife. When I bought it at Big 5, of course their prices have to be a little higher. I bought this at like 40-something bucks. And I just hit my tripod yet again. Excuse me for a moment while I die a little on the inside. Alright, so let's try that again. The Cruiser. Third time's a charm. The Cruiser. Bam. Alright, so CRKT. The blade steel on this knife is very interesting, by the way. It's Cruiser, Hammond design. The blade steel on this is an 8CP14 MOV. I'm not too familiar with 8CP14 MOV steel, but that's what it says, so that's a little weird. What I really like about this CRKT is that this knife is four-way positional. You can barely see it. There's 3 holes here. There's 3 holes down here next to this humongous lanyard hole. 3 holes here, and of course the pocket clip up here. So yes, you can four-way position this huge tongue of a pocket clip. Left, right, up, down, side to side, duct tape it to your head. It's got versatility, you guys. The blade is kind of this interesting... To me, this is a fishing knife. I mean, look at that. And the grip on this thing is phenomenal. It's really, really good grip on there. This is not a very expensive knife. Like I said, I bought this at Big 5. You can even get it on Amazon, which I'm looking at Amazon prices right now. So this is a cheap knife, under $40. Half serrations, which I never use anything from the half mark all the way down on a knife. I always use the half mark all the way up. So I don't understand what the holes here are for, but I'm assuming that they're for weight reduction. And of course, it has this locking mechanism where it turns it into a fixed blade, so you cannot disengage the lock whatsoever. This knife stays open. Disengage that. That's optional. You don't even have to use it if you don't want to. It's got 2 ways of opening. You got the flipper right here. You got the thumb stud. The thumb stud is a little bit difficult to get to because it's nestled so close to the handle. But the flipper is probably the most easiest way to open this particular knife. And you can still see where the price tag sat on the blade right there. You see that rectangle? I've tried to clean it up the best I could, but it's still there from when I bought it. This was like their display piece when I bought it. It was the last one they had, and I just told them, yeah, sure, I'll get it. Why not? my knife collection just kept growing. So there's that one, and then the Ignitor. This one is obviously one that it's a little smaller than what I'm used to. Very interesting knife. The first time, and this is what got me to buy this knife, was the interesting opening mechanism right here. And this is kind of like a button actuator, but it's connected to the blade. You have to push this down and out in order for the blade to ignite, or excuse me, deploy, because otherwise I'm pulling on it and it will not come open whatsoever. This is an assisted knife. So you press down on this right here, you press down on it and then you push it out. That's not interesting. Ignitor. K.A. Steigerwalt, Alright, so anyways, VEF serrations, I think that's really cool. It's, I don't know, this is kind of a really, really interesting way to carry a knife. You cannot deploy this knife in any other fashion. You cannot flick it open. You can't double hand it by opening it like a normal human being. You can't use the thumb stud because it just doesn't, you have to press on it and push it. That is interesting. And you can see it kind of, you see that? I don't know if you guys can see that. Isn't that interesting? It's different. And that's what led me to purchase this knife. And I got this knife at Lowe's. So, if you're interested in this particular knife, I would be interested in seeing more knives with this Ignitor mechanism on there. I would love to see more knives with that. Bigger knives, like that size, with the Ignitor button on there. That'd be really cool. And have that, you can see that tension bar right there for the assisted. So let me go ahead and get a price tag for you guys on this Ignitor. When I bought it, I can't remember how much it was. I just bought it. Scusi. Ignitor, there we go. That was pretty easy to find. I just put IG. Why won't you scroll up? Wow, there are none. You're kidding me. Then why is it listed? Okay. Well, the closest one I could find, here it is. Alright, so 57.73. Oh wait, you know what? Maybe I found it. Hold on. They have different kinds. Okay, scratch that. On the Ignitor, it is $64.76 for this model in particular. $65 for this guy. It's an interesting knife, nonetheless. It's nice and small. It's lightweight. Well, I shouldn't say it's lightweight. The G10 handle scales are really nice. Oh, that's the first time that's ever happened. I got it open that far. Interesting. But otherwise, you can't flick it without pressing. You have to press down on that in order to deploy the knife. I'm pulling on it, and it's not opening whatsoever. You have to press down on it and push out. It's a very interesting knife. And for the size, I still get my whole hand on this knife. So this would be a knife that I would carry, because having it sit in my pocket like this, the only way to open it is by pushing that and pushing down and out. Yeah, I want to see more knives from CRKT that do this. And I would carry it no matter how, and I just pull it out, and as long as I can get to that button right there, or that thumb stud button, then opening this knife would be a lot safer than having it in there and then having it pop open by accident. which I've had happen before, which is why I never like carrying a knife in my pocket in this configuration unless it is in this configuration, because then the blade would be up against the seam of my pocket rather than in the open side where any accident can happen and you can slice your hand open, which has happened to me before, carrying a knife in this configuration in the pocket, in my right hand pocket. So there's reasons, people. So let's go ahead and get into the specs on the knife. So on the Ignitor, you're looking at almost 4 inches, about 3 3/4 inches with an overall 9 inches length. And on the Ignitor, you are looking at 3.5 inch blade with an overall 7.5 inches. And let's go ahead and get into the thickness. So this is a chunky knife whatsoever. 17.8 on the handle, 3.0 on the blade. And on the Ignitor, 12.0 on the handle, and on the blade you're looking at a 2.3. This is probably a better EDC in my opinion, because it's not a huge knife, and it doesn't have to be. This was the last one that was in stock when I went to go and purchase this one, and I know why now, because the person behind the desk said this is such a popular seller because of the interesting opening mechanism, and because of the fact that it's a perfect EDC, at least for somebody who doesn't want a huge knife or doesn't want a knife that's too small. This one is right on point. So, would I carry this? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. I would carry this knife. Would I use it for self-defense? You know what? Yeah, I probably would. 3.5 inches? Yeah, that's respectable. I'd still go for a 4-inch blade, but 3.5 inches is still plenty blade to protect yourself if it ever came down to it, which hoping and praying would never happen. But gives you that little piece of confidence if needed. So it's still a very interesting opening mechanism. I'm like playing with this one more than I am with the Cruiser. But the Cruiser is, to me, I don't know why, when I hold this knife, it feels and looks like, to me, a fishing knife. A knife that you would use when you go out fishing, cut fish and fillet them and whatever, gut them, whatever. This is that knife. So yeah. We'll go into the cutting mechanism. We'll go into the cutting capabilities of these knives. Why don't we? So here's some strang. Got some strang for you guys. Yeah, like it was nothing there on the Ignitor and on the Cruiser. Let's go ahead and see. Yep. Very, very sharp knives. Good quality knives. And why not some Pepel? So it cut just a little bit. Pretty sharp. I was gonna say I barely use this knife for. Actually, I haven't used this knife for anything. Sharp. So, if you're interested in them, they are. I'm pretty sure this one is still being sold at Lowe's. The last time I was there wasn't too long ago, and I'm pretty sure I still saw this one over there. If you can't find it at Lowe's, or you choose not to go because you don't want to wait in a long-ass line with a mask on your face and keeping 6 feet apart from every other person in there and having to wait 35 to 45 to 55 minutes just to get into the building to buy one of these guys, you could just order it on Amazon. That's what I would do. This one was Big 5. When they sold out of this thing, they never got it back. So and I found it on Amazon for maybe it's like $30 and change. So that's if you're interested in this one. So yeah, these are my last two CRKT folders. Whenever I get new CRKTs, you guys will know. I will bust them out in videos. It's kind of a sad little video for me because I thought that CRKT would keep going for me. But, you know, realize that I don't really have that many left. At least in my collection anyways. I got a whole bunch more blades for you guys, a whole bunch more content. If you like this video, please slash that like button. Stab that subscribe if you haven't done it already. Hit that bell icon in case you want to know when I come out with new content. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you all. Thank you.